If 25% of your business is not coming from your social media, wake up. It's time for you to smell the coffee and jump into the 2020s. I'm bringing to you today 2 amazing guests. They are the Mortgage Dads on Instagram. They have 10,000 followers. They do over 1,000 videos per year, and over 50% of their $54 million in volume last year came from their Instagram following. This is an episode you don't want to miss. In fact, it's going to be an episode that you will want to share. Check this out. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children 18 plus, you are tuned in to Loan Officer Podcast with me, Dustin Owen, and 2 very special guests. By way of Salem, Oregon, there in Orlando, Florida, Universal Studios Mortgage Con 2026. If you are at all on Instagram, I'd be shocked if you don't follow the Mortgage Dads. That is Travis Newton. That is James Swift. Travis is a 2-time state champion high school basketball coach. James actually named his daughter Taylor Swift and is an Ironman. And both of them are mortgage origination badasses. And they are now officially TLOP friends. So Travis, James, welcome to the Loan Officer Podcast.
Yeah, thank you. We appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I'm super excited about this. You and I have been connected now for well over a year, but this is our first time getting a chance to meet in real life. And I'll tell you, first and foremost, I dig the content y'all create. How long have you been creating content on Instagram?
Well, we went all in 2022. We went to Mortgage Mastermind in Vegas, right, with kind of one goal in mind, to bring something home that we can implement all in, right?
Yep.
And we've been dabbling in video a little bit, right? But we heard Neil Dingra speak, and we realized that our videos sucked, right?
So you were already doing videos,
well,
but they just weren't at the quality that Neil teaches.
For sure, right? Because the industry had been telling us for a while, get started in video, do video, but nobody told us how to do video, just that we needed to be doing it. And so when we heard Neil speak and he kind of really uncovered the how, that was a game changer for us. And we just started following his program. Along the way, we found our own voice, and kind of, we have I would say a mix of the things that we learned from Neil's program and what we enjoy doing. But that's really when we started, I would say. September 2022 was when we got all in on it.
So the lesson here, honestly, the first lesson, and I hope that the audience is able to pull at least half a dozen to a dozen lessons. We call them tie downs and takeaways. But the first one is, this is what happens when you go to conferences. Right? Like, we are at Mortgage Con. I've already learned way too many lessons to actually implement, but I promise I'm going to walk away with at least 2 ideas and 1 connection that, because of that, it's going to make my business better, right? I'm sure you all are going to have the same experience. Travis, how did you and James connect? Because you're unique. For those that don't know, they're the Mortgage Dads. They do things as a team. That's not common in the mortgage industry. How did the Mortgage Dads come about? And then also, did either one of you have a background in marketing to allow you to succeed with the reels that you post on Instagram?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, James and I have been friends for probably 18 years or now. So went to the same church. Our kids did sports together. We coached our kids together all through youth, football, basketball, all of that. Went to daddy-daughter dances together with our daughters. So we've known each other for a long time.
So you know Taylor Swift?
I know Taylor Swift, yeah. I've danced with Taylor Swift.
You've danced with
before.
Taylor Swift. That's so cool.
And so, yeah, we've known each other for a long time. And, James has been a 20-year military veteran. And when he was getting, while he was in there, I was probably doing 2 or 3 loans a month from referrals from James and his buddies. And so when he was ready to retire, he was I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe drive some bus, or maybe teach, coach T-ball, or do something, or substitute teach. And I said, James, why don't you just come and join me?
Yeah.
And we talked about, what that income may look like. And he just said, what?
Yeah.
I feel like I need to interject here for a second, because part of what I said was, I want to do something that's not stressful, right?
Well, you didn't get that.
No, I did not get that. but he cloaked it with, when I came into the business, it was 2021, and I was shooting fish in a barrel doing BA Earls.
So that was your introduction.
2021 was I got licensed in
2021?
January 2021, and
Yeah.
I'm like, Travis, why didn't you tell me about this industry sooner, right? And then 2022 came, right?
Yeah.
So I'll pitch it back over to you on that. But I was looking for something not stressful.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I asked James, hey, join the team. We'll work things together. And then I got promoted to a regional VP role, and so I needed to, some help on the files. And so it was a great partnership. And so it's been great. As far as the marketing part of it, neither of us have a really marketing background at all. I've been in the business for 25 years. Of course, James was in the military for 20 years, and then this for 5 years. So neither of us had that. But I think if you had our wives sitting here and you're asking them questions, we bring out the best / worst of each other.
Okay.
So we have no problem doing funny, weird, videos, dad jokes on videos, dances. Even though neither of us can dance, he's a lot better dancer than I am, and he's horrible. So that tells you how bad I am. And so we have no problem, breaking stuff out and doing just weird stuff that's going to make people laugh, and then we also do a lot of educational stuff on our videos that that can teach people how to do certain things, and so that's the key. I think you just have to go out and do the videos that you feel are best for the consumer and for your realtor partners, and just don't care about it. Like I think it was Kyle was just talking about on stage.
Shout out to Kyle Draper.
Yeah, Kyle Draper's a stud. You could do a video. Don't worry about the video you're going to do today, because it's going to be buried in your feed in 3 days, right?
Yeah.
And so we do so many videos that happens frequently.
Yes, I think it's good to know that you all have varying roles. I mean, you said that you're, you have a leadership role at Synergy One. By the way, Synergy One is your employers where you hang your hat. I want to give a shout out to Patrick Vega. Patrick Vega, Synergy One loan originator. He's one of your up and coming superstars. Yeah. But I had an opportunity to coach Patrick like 2 years ago, and that was my first experience of learning about Synergy One. You guys are doing a great job. Like, you have a very solid company brand, a great culture that has now resonated throughout the country, from Salem, Oregon, all the way to Orlando, Florida, and probably everywhere in between. I have way more questions that I want to get into. Everything. I really do want to know how and why you named your daughter Taylor Swift. I think it's funny.
Yeah.
We'll get into that because, James, you've only been in the industry for really the past 5 years.
Correct. Yep.
You have a certain perspective that maybe guys like Travis and I forget. So I want to pick your brain about that. But before I honestly want to dive even deeper into what content has meant to you, how easy or how hard it is, and more importantly, how the audience can learn from your experiences, right? So much of mentorship and coaching is shortening the learning curve. Right. We can use this podcast episode to shorten the learning curve for thousands of professionals, whether they're realtors, financial advisors, insurance agents, or loan originators, just by them tuning in. Yeah. But before we do, we're going to take a quick pause because I do want to pay some bills, and I want to leave some time so we can hear from today's show sponsor. Check this out. The Gathering by Housing Wire is coming up in Austin this April from the 27th through the 30th. And after missing last year and dealing with that FOMO, I am already registered. I want to make sure that this is an event that y'all have on your radar. I remember my first time attending the Gathering. That year, the event was held in Arizona, and I was blown away. It was the first time I went to an event where the who's who of both mortgage and real estate were attending the same conference. It's been 2 years since I was last at the Gathering, and I'm still working with and collaborating with some of the people I met while attending this once-a-year event. Some of these people have now become friends as well as clients. I hear from you all the time about how you want to step up your game, run in bigger circles, and have the inside track on what is actually happening in the real estate and mortgage industries. Well, this event will allow you to check all of those boxes plus so much more. So go ahead and get registered today. Come hang out with me in Austin. The website to get started is housingwire.com/events and use my code TLOP10 for 10% off. So again, housingwire.com/events and use my code TLOP10, that's TLOP10, and at checkout, you'll get 10% off. I look forward to seeing you at this year's Gathering. All right, so we're back. Rapid fire with James. Okay, your daughter truly is named Taylor Swift.
That's my daughter, yes.
Okay, who came first, the icon, musician, singer-songwriter, or your daughter?
Well, the songwriter came first.
Like she was born in 1989,
correct,
your daughter was born after
correct.
that.
But she wasn't known to us when we named our daughter Taylor Swift. My wife just always wanted to have a girl, name her Taylor, right? So that was our Taylor Swift. She was born in February 2006. Here comes June 2006. Taylor Swift hits the radio.
Like that was the song Tim McGraw, probably?
Probably.
Okay.
And so we're like,
there was country version Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Right.
The
sweet little girl on the guitar.
Yes.
Absolutely,
Okay.
right? But the timing was so close that there was no way anybody was going to believe us that we didn't name our daughter after Taylor Swift. And Now, my daughter's gone through different versions of whether or not she likes her name, right? So young Taylor Swift, thought it was amazing. It was the greatest thing ever. Yeah. We went to a Taylor Swift concert. I found myself in a sea of screaming children.
Stealing T-shirts.
Yes.
That the radio station was throwing out. I got to get a T-shirt for my daughter, right?
Yeah.
Middle school Taylor Swift, hated that she was Taylor Swift, right? It was terrible. And now she's indifferent. But she's
maybe
not,
one day she won't be Taylor Swift.
Well, not that I'm trying to marry her off like anytime soon, but she has talked about that. Like, eventually, Dad, I love you, but I need to get rid of this name because every time in fact, when we took her to college to do her campus tour, and we showed up to do the campus tour, they weren't ready for us. They thought they were being pranked. Like, oh, Taylor Swift signed up for a campus tour.
Oh, no
okay,
way.
yeah,
How
sure
funny.
thing. So like, oh, well, no, this is real.
Well, I believe you because we named our son Jackson. He's our firstborn.
Mm-hmm.
Then I remember when my wife and I were, doing what married couples do when you're having a baby. You're kicking names around, and she's like, "Oh, what about the name Kendall?" I'm like, "I love it. I love that name." But then she's like, "Ooh, are we really gonna name our kids Kendall Jackson?" And I was like, "Yeah, but Jackson came first." Well, Kendall Jackson's a pretty popular wine brand, right?
Yeah. Right.
But you better believe the minute she was born, everyone came to our house to congratulate us on the new addition, and they brought a bottle of Kendall Jackson wine.
Right.
And I was like, no, Jackson came first. It's Jackson Kendall. So I believe you didn't purposefully name your daughter Taylor Swift.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just like we didn't purposely go our way. I'm going to stay on you, James, for a second because 5 years in the industry. Okay. Yes, you came in COVID years, 21 especially, 22. Oh, that was like the anti-Christ of COVID years, right? And then 23 marginally better, but not much. 24, we're still kind of pounding away. 25 wasn't terrible, wasn't great either. And I think 26 is going to be just slightly better than 25.
Yep.
But what can you tell someone who either is thinking about entering the mortgage industry or has recently gotten licensed in the past, let's say 12 to 18 months? What's your good, bad, and ugly in less than 90 seconds?
Okay, less than 90 seconds. Well, the first thing I would say is I think that you have to be all in this industry. I've talked to a lot of people who are part-time, trying to break into this industry part-time, or during the hard years, they kind of put one foot out and they're like, I need to get into this other lane where I'm getting some stable income, but I'm still trying to do this loan origination thing. So just my opinion, other might disagree with me. I think you have to be completely
If anyone
invested.
who disagrees with you, they're crazy.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So, and then I also think that I was blessed because we set ourselves up in a way where we were able to live off of what I was getting from income from my military service. So I didn't come into the industry with commission breath, right? And so if you're in this industry and you're treating every deal and this is what I need to pay my bills, then your focus isn't on the client, right? And so I think that people coming into this industry need to realize that it takes a little bit of time to start to have that income coming in steadily and prepare for that so that you can be genuine and not treating every customer or referral partner with the real estate agents with just that absolute desperation.
Yeah.
That's my
They see right through it.
Yeah, Travis, what's your thoughts on commission breath? Because I love the analogy, right? And the visual of commission breath, right? Imagine having bad breath, morning breath, but it's like you're breathing like a dragon because you're just so hungry to get a sale because you're desperate to pay your bills. But I'm curious, you're 25 years in the industry, like you run a branch, you also run a region. Do you agree with his commission breath statement, or do you like someone having a little bit of commission breath? Because if there's too much of a safety net, they won't necessarily have the fire in their belly to get after it. What have you experienced in your past 2 decades or so?
Yeah, it's still a fine line, but I think, my opinion, we were put on this earth to serve others, right? And I genuinely believe that, whether it's just in life or in your profession, whatever it is. And so if you put the client first, you will always come out ahead. Like karma, whatever it is, spiritual, it's going to come back to you tenfold. And so I do believe that. I do believe there's also a point and a side of that coin that if this person has to make their mortgage payment, they're gonna work their butt off to do that, right? Now they're gonna make sure they get their 10 calls a day in. They're gonna make sure that they do their update calls. They're gonna make sure they do those things, right? But I think it's a fine line when you find someone like James or another LO in our office named Ben Nelson, or another guy who runs the Boise branch named Bryson Smith. These are all newer LOs in the last 5 to 7 years or so that have been massive producers, because even though they may have a safety net to fall back on, they still bring that same sports background mentality or
Yes.
military background
Yep.
mentality, that this is the way I do things, and it's systemized.
Yep.
And I'm going to do things every day the exact same way, and these will lead to these massive year-end goals, right? I saw Neil talk today on one of his reels talking about goals. He goes, even if I don't know what my real goal is, if I really focus on my daily goals, no matter what those year-end goals are going to be, I'm going to hit them because I did everything today that I was going to do to move that needle.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I asked that question. I wanted both your dynamics because, like you all, throughout my career, I've experienced a lot, right? Firsthand, usually, but sometimes just traveling the country and speaking on stages or consulting mortgage companies or interviewing guys like you get to learn through your stories. But personally, I'm 0 for 3 hiring someone that comes with a pension. Cop, ex-military, and teacher.
Right.
And the one underlying theme was I felt like the safety net got in the way.
Yeah.
However, I've been around the block. Oh, I know what commission breath smells like, and that's the worst. But you said something, Travis, that is spot on. Regardless if you have a safety net or regardless if you smell like you have that commission breath, if we put the client first, if we focus on the daily processes and then we trust the process, right? We don't expect success in 6 months, like you just said, James, right? It's going to take you 12 to 24 months. I think that's the sweet spot, especially when someone's coachable. And people who are ex-military tend to be coachable. They're used to being told what to do and then they go do it at a high level.
Right.
Athletes obviously are used to being competitive and coachable. So let's slide back into social media, right? The one thing that you all are doing better than most right now, and the results are, beyond through the roof for you. If you were to go back and talk to yourself in 2022, what would you tell yourself about creating content? And think of it as you the coach, right? You the coach. By the way, I think, James, you were on Travis's staff when you all won those state championships, right?
Yeah, I was part of the staff.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I wasn't the head coach. We were both part of the same staff.
But y'all won back-to-back state
We did.
championships.
We did, yep.
In boys basketball in the state of Oregon.
Yep.
Yep. Then you went back and did it with the girls as well.
Girls prior. Yep.
Prior. Yeah. That's pretty effing cool.
Yeah, it's pretty
right?
cool.
And there's life lessons to be had there.
Yeah.
So when you're pulling on those lessons in general, like think of yourself as that coach, what would you tell yourselves back in 2022 as you start building the mortgage dads on Instagram?
Well, so I think really what you have to do is like leverage your talents, right? And so I guess to give it a parallel to basketball, right? You're putting the people in the right positions to do the job, and then you're also looking at like what's our matchups, what are our teams, who's the right people for this game, right? So we leverage our talents, I guess, in this social media space, but we also are ourselves, right? We're not trying to be a team or something that we're not on social media. I think that's where some people maybe miss the boat, is they're trying to put on a different persona on social media versus like actually who they are, right?
Right.
So I think that's probably the main thing I would say about it. It's just
So
really
the advice to y'all, to yourselves, like looking in the mirror, going back those 3-4 years, it's like, do you, homie, be you,
correct,
right? Like know who you serve,
but do it.
Yeah, and do it. Yeah.
Another thing I want to add to that too is it doesn't have to be polished. Like when we first started, we would do a video, something cool. We do a parody of, some movie, some cool movie, Dumb and Dumber, whatever, Step Brothers. And James would probably spend.
You're out after my heart if you're calling Step Brothers and Dumb and Dumber like cool movies.
That's what we do, yeah.
Yes.
Cool movies. So we would do a parody of that or some sort of mortgage-related video, and James would spend an hour and a half trying to edit it perfectly, right?
Right.
We have those
And
videos.
creating thumbnails on Canva, because I thought it was going to be important when someone came to our page that we had all these nice polished, thumbnails and just commercial presentation.
Not important.
Right? Yeah.
Not important.
Not important at all.
Thumbnails are not important. At least not for your reels.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, for YouTube, for the short form content on YouTube. Yeah, I think those are important.
Yeah.
Right. But when people are seeing us in the Reels page, they're not coming to our site, right? So what we learned is let's not spend an hour and a half on every video when we could spend 5 minutes, get the same video out, and get more engagement on it.
Yep.
Because especially right now, 2022, people may have been looking for more polished stuff. They're not now. They're looking for humanized content, right? And so that's what we spend a whole lot of time on, is that. And to James' point, if you were to walk into our office, you're going to see the same two dopey dads that you see on social media. Like we're having fun in the in the office doing the exact same stuff, whether there's a camera on us or not. So we're the same guys you see on camera.
So your content allows you to attract your ideal client, your avatar.
Absolutely.
Right? The right realtors will refer you.
Yep.
The right builders will want to meet with you. The right borrowers, right, will feel safe and trusted around you.
Yep.
Because what you see is what you get.
Yep.
And I'm sure you're both pretty confident that if someone doesn't like what they see, you're cool with them taking their business elsewhere because they probably wouldn't be an ideal client for you.
Oh, sure. We see that all the time. Like we get unfollowed. We make some certain posts and get unfollowed, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But we know who our tribe is, and we've really leaned into that a little bit more the last 3 years. We have our own beliefs on stuff, and we just stick to them, and our production continues to grow, leaning into that a little bit more.
Yeah, 56 million last year, shooting for 80 million this year, right?
Yeah, we're about 54 last year with the
Okay.
HELOCs, and 80 is the goal.
I love production, people who know their numbers. Y'all don't know this, but that was actually Travis's third time correcting me on the production, right? One time I undershot it, that time I overshot it. You're like, no, I know my numbers. It was 54 million, right? Just a little sidebar for anyone who's running their own shop or you're a loan originator and you're trying to grow. If you don't know your numbers, that's like maybe step one. James, you were spending an hour and a half editing. Are you self-taught?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
So when we started following Neil's program of like how to create content, part of what we were missing was like how to edit. I didn't have any apps on my phone. I went and bought a Mac and got
Taylor Swift couldn't help you?
Well, no, she wasn't quite hitting it yet. So I got Final Cut Pro. I was trying to edit in a complicated software that's way more powerful than what I needed,
Yeah.
right, to be posting videos on Instagram. And so I was spending a lot of time like putting in all the captions myself, not leveraging a lot of the software that's available in these recording studios that we carry in our pockets, right? And then I was wanting to create the perfect Canva thumbnail, like I had said earlier. So yeah, we were spending a lot of time doing it. But then as time started to go on, two things started to happen. A, we got smarter about how we were doing it, and business was really picking up from it, where we almost couldn't even keep up with our video production, right? So we just had to get smarter about how we were doing it.
What are you using now? Like, what do you use a special camera? Do you use a special editing software? Who's writing your scripts? Like, what does that look like day in the life of? Because Travis said earlier, I think it was 1,100 videos you all produced and published in 2025. What does it look like on the production side?
Loan officers, if 2026 is going to be your breakout year, this matters. Most originators don't struggle because of rates. They struggle because they don't have systems, structure, or accountability. I'm Coach Christy with TLAP's Originator Coaching. Originator Launch is a 16-week small group coaching program designed to help you build a real business, not just close the next loan. You'll get weekly live coaching, proven scripts used by top producers, real accountability, homework that actually moves the needle, and 2 private one-on-one calls with your coach. This program is capped at just 10 originators, so the attention is personal and the results are real. This isn't a course you watch. It's coaching you execute. If you're ready to stop guessing and start building with intention, apply now. Spots are limited, and once they're gone, enrollment closes. Register today.
Well, sometimes it's just from the hip, right? So one thing I'll say is it doesn't matter what you're talking about. Success leaves clues. Right, so there's people who are crushing it on social media, but they're not posting anything that's original.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no really a lot of originality to it. So we spend time deliberately scrolling social media, blocked out time where we're spending a certain amount of time looking for ideas, and we'll see something that we think is funny that kind of fits with our personality, and then we'll put our spin on it.
Okay.
Right. So sometimes that's what we're doing.
So you're taking like content that's not even mortgage related, but
correct.
maybe it's trendy.
Yeah.
Right, it's trendy, and
Absolutely.
you're like, wait a minute, I can take that framework,
Right.
and then put a mortgage spin behind it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
So
are you
it-
using Opus Pro? Are you using CapCut? Are you using like a Canon EOS?
Right.
Or
We
are you
tried
just
Opus.
using your iPhone?
Yeah, we tried Opus for a little bit, but I mostly use CapCut, and then
Okay.
Travis uses the
Captions
Captions app,
app, yep.
right?
Okay.
But a couple of reasons why we wanted to learn how to edit, because we have an editing team for Synergy One Lending.
They're incredible.
The company's awesome. The reason that I love
Onshore, offshore?
Here's a funny
they're our
story.
kids.
It's actually James's son and my son.
Right.
Okay.
So they were doing stuff for us.
Yes.
And
When
then-
they were in their teens or
yeah,
college
they're,
age?
they're
Yeah, they
basically
were.
in their
They
teens,
were,
right?
yeah.
And they both have their own sports media, businesses they do separately. But yeah, they were editing for us, and then And then Steve Majerus, our CEO, came to me and said, "Hey, we just lost our video editor. Can I steal Eli, my son, for part-time?" I said, "Well, yeah, I guess, but we still need him to do these things." Yeah. And but Steve pays more than me, so my son said, "You're fired," and he went to work for Synergy. And then about 6 months later, they needed more support. So James's son actually kind of left doing stuff for us too, and went and joined Synergy as well. So we used to have video editors.
Yeah,
they're still on our payroll.
Yes, yes,
our home payroll.
Yeah.
But they don't work for us anymore. They work for corporate. So we do everything kind of on our own now.
Yeah, so you're using CapCut and you're recording using your iPhones?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, with that said, we still send things into corporate, like the talking head videos that need more compliance review, right? When we're talking about certain trigger terms, we still send those into to corporate, and our sons or the video team edit those and get it back to us.
Yeah. Right. How much of your 1,100 videos that you did in 2025 were stories, and how many were potential lives? Like, do you ever go live?
We've gone live a couple times.
But that's not kind of our niche.
It's not you.
Now.
It's not you.
Yeah.
It's not me either.
Right.
Yeah.
Karina's here. She's watching us. She's part of my team. And Karina's older sister is actually probably more on the content side of things, our content calendar and getting things posted.
Right.
And those two ladies love to.
Yeah.
Hey, Dio, it'd be great if you can go live. I'm like, hey, Karina or Ari, it's kind of not me. So I'll do it because I'm a good soldier, right? You tell me what to do, I'll go do it. But I'm happy to hear that you guys really don't go live a whole lot. Do you post videos to stories? Or are you strictly like, no, our jam's reels? We do 1,100 reels.
Well, we do reels and posts, and then we share those to the story. So we're actually doing that content's still in all of our, it's still in our database, right?
Yes.
So, but with that said, I think they may be right. I think that Gary Vee's talked about this a lot. Live and live shopping is where people are going to kill it with content over the next 2 years, and so reluctantly,
Karina's giving me the evil eye right now. You can see her.
So reluctantly, we probably should be listening to these millennials a little bit more.
Yes.
Right? Or not millennials? Are they Gen X? What are they?
She doesn't even know. I think you're Gen Z, right?
Gen Z.
Yeah.
I guess we're millennials. I don't know.
I love listening to
I'm on the border. I was born in 78. I think millennial. I was the end of 78.
Okay,
I think I missed millennial by like 13 months.
Okay, I'm 76. James is 78. Yeah.
Yeah. Someone was talking about how when you're watching like influencers and different people on social media, where you can tell where that line's at by when they're speaking. Do they have their microphone like clipped onto their body, or are they holding it? Right, and the younger generations,
holders.
I don't get it. You're holding a mini macro microphone.
Right? Yeah.
It looks weird.
Weirdos.
It almost looks
But
like
it's not weird to
Ricky
them at
Bobby
all. Right.
In Talladega Nights was like, I don't know what to do with my hands. It's like someone handed this person a little microphone. Like, do I just talk into it? I'm like, no, you clip it to your shirt and go hands free. But
and you can use your hands.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
What on your social following? How much of your business? Because I said it's over in the intro. Over 50% of your business you're attributing to your social. How much of it is reminding people who already know you that you exist versus attracting people who have never heard of the Mortgage Dads coming into your ecosystem?
Well, as you know, they only need us when they need us, right? So the majority of our followers are real estate agents, right? Local real estate agents. And we have a lot of LOs that follow us and take ideas, and we say take them, use it for your market. We don't care if you're in the same market as us, use it. But I think what's really important is again, like let's say it again, they don't need us until they need us. So what we do is we really try to outwardly engage in other people's social content as well. That is the true value of social media, because if a real estate agent posts something, I'm not just going to just scroll through it. I'm going to say something about that new house they have listed or the accepted offer they just got. I'm going to congratulate them and genuinely interact with them. So outward engagement is the key to you getting more followers and more, just more engagement on your stuff if you engage with others. Again, we're here to serve others, and it will come back to us tenfold.
Say that louder for the people in the back, especially those on LinkedIn right now. They're saying, WTF, all of my views and my engagement has been cut in half. So say what you just said again.
Yeah, the most important thing you can do is outwardly engage with others. I think we talk about that when we're speaking with real estate agents or teaching classes or up on stage. We talk about that all the time. Outwardly engagement is the key to your success.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's a volley, right? It's a game of volleyball. If I'm just constantly serving over the net and there's no one there to like hit it back to me, it goes nowhere. If other people are constantly serving over the net and I'm just letting the ball drop in front of me, the relationship's going nowhere. But if they can serve and I can volley back, then we go back and forth. All of a sudden, more people are engaging in my content. I'm engaging in more people's content.
Yeah.
And honestly, real relationships are being built.
Yeah, and if you look at, most of you should already know this, but what happens when somebody puts a story up? What happens when you comment on that story? Where does that go? It goes directly to their DMs.
Yeah.
And now Instagram, Meta, whoever, they think that you have this relationship with them. So now the algorithm will put more stuff in front of them, even if they're not following you yet, right? Because you have a direct message already, in bounds with them.
Do you all, I struggle with this one. Do you all follow everyone who follows you?
No.
Okay. So,
No,
so
if you go to look at our following right now, we have 10.8 for following us. We're following 6,000 people.
Yeah.
okay.
Right. So
Yeah.
there's a big imbalance. It's not as big as some where the accounts where you say that they're following 0 people, right? Because that's not healthy for what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
And what we're trying to do too is we want to be again, you hear this all the time, the mayor of your own town, whatever you want to say, right? We want to be focusing on hyper-local. We work the Salem, Oregon market. Yeah, we're licensed at James licensed in Washington, so we do a lot of military loans up there, and we work all over Oregon. But there's so much business in our local market. Like if we just focus on that, I mean, we were the number 1 loan officers in Marion County, a couple other counties, so in the Valley area. But if we could kind of branch that out a little bit to a couple other counties, it's going to be super successful for us.
Yeah,
to do that.
one of my all-star coaching students. So like I met Amanda when literally I was launching T-Lop's originator coaching.
Yeah.
And she was one of the first people to go through my like signature boot camp. And she funds roughly $42 million a year. She's trying to do 80 million. Like she went from 10 to 20, 20 to 40, and now I've challenged her to go from 40 to 80.
Yeah.
She is in a city in Alaska with 30,000 people. 30,000.
Yeah.
She's not licensed in a bunch of different states.
Yeah.
Like she occasionally, maybe 4 times a year, will fly to Anchorage, which is the big city, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe she has a closing up there. Maybe she's trying to develop a relationship or two.
Right.
But whenever someone's like, "Oh, I'm in a small town or my market this," I'm like, I always bring up Amanda. I'm like 42 million and there's 30,000 people in that, and she's not the only top producer.
Yeah.
Right. There's another top producer. Shout out to Eric Hoffman. Right. Another coaching client of mine, which is odd. Like, how do you get
2 of them in a small town?
Two in a small town? Well, I tell you, Amanda told Eric.
Yeah.
And which they compete against each other.
Yeah.
And that's just how big her heart is.
Yeah. Let's go in this market together.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, but like you guys are doing it in Salem, Oregon, right? Yes, you do some loans in Washington, but you're not trying to do Texas and Arkansas and Fort Benning and Georgia, right? Maybe one day you'll get there, especially if rates keep dropping and you lean into those Earls and you lean into Redder, right? You can lean into Redder, you can lean into those Earls, start opening up some of those licenses. James, what do you tell someone that says, "Oh, I don't like how I look, I don't like how I sound"?
Oh, I have the perfect story for that.
Do you?
I'm glad you actually brought that up.
Yeah.
This was even
tee him up for
rehearsed.
this?
No, I did not.
This was not. This was not teed up.
So, kind of going back to our start, right? So we heard Neil speak. We're still at Mortgage Mastermind. We're in the lobby. We're ordering our light. We're ordering our microphone. Amazon packages are arriving at home before we even get back.
Your
from
wives
the
are
trip.
like, WTF.
Yeah, for sure. So
what did those boys get into today?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we get it all set up. We go back to our office. We dedicate a room to be our studio room, and I sit down to record the first video that we're gonna do. And so Travis is behind the camera, just kind of monitoring everything, and we record the video, and now
Killed
I'm
it.
ready to watch it
Yeah,
back.
looked great.
It was ready to go.
Sounded great.
I watched the video. I said, Travis, we need to move that light over to the other side so that's shining on the left side of my face instead of the right side of my face. And he's like, why is that? And I said, well, my right ear sticks out further than my left ear, and that light is just it's really exacerbating.
amplifying it, yes.
And he looks at me, he goes, dude, I've known you for 15 years at this point. I've never noticed that your right ear sticks out further
By the
than
way,
your left
I
ear.
never noticed it.
But now
he's
that I
not
said
lying.
it-
He is not lying. The
Right?
right ear does stick out
Yes.
more than the left ear.
There's
Yeah.
a reason why he's picked this side of the table.
Absolutely.
It's the light.
Yeah, but I think what you're getting is it bothers you.
Right, but
Yeah.
it doesn't bother anybody else. Nobody else sees it, right?
Yeah.
And so the message, we tell the story all the time when we go around and teach social media is you look like what you look like, you sound like what you sound like. Just record the dang video and get over yourself.
Yeah,
right?
hey, add one more to it. Because I have a presentation that I give about being like a next-gen originator, and next-gen originator show up online.
Right.
And so many times people are like, oh, I don't want to get into videos, and I don't want to get into social. And I'm like, well, it's like 20 years old now. Like at some point you're going to have to, right?
Right.
It's not, this isn't new what we're talking about.
Right.
But I'll tell them that is how you look, that is how you sound. and we love you.
Yeah.
We love you for
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
this is
Yeah.
all we know.
Yep.
And better yet, you're not making content for you. You're making content for the people that you serve.
Yep.
Right.
Right. So if you're being led by someone like Travis and you truly are a servant leader, right? You lead with a servant's heart, then yeah, it's almost as if, and I'm gonna like not mince my words, I'm like, you're being a dick when you don't do content.
Yeah.
You have all this knowledge and all this experience,
Right.
Not
and
sharing
you're
it.
not sharing it
Yep.
because you don't like how you sound and look, but we are totally cool with how you sound and look.
Yeah.
And I've felt like in a presentation like I'm gonna give in a little bit here at MortgageCon, that right there, I'm like, if I can just move two people
Yeah.
right off the fence
Yep.
because they're like, well, I don't want to be a dick.
Yeah.
Or yeah, they do love me, then that's the beginning. How bad did looking back on your old stuff, how bad did you quote unquote suck before you felt you started getting good?
Oh, we actually love to watch some of our very first
Yeah.
videos because and they're cringeworthy, right? Like,
Well, not only that, what we'll do is we will take some of these old videos. Like
Right.
the other day, I went up to James and I said, James, I was just doing this, selfie mode. James, what is the most cringe video you think we've done? And what'd you say?
oh, it was the
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, Jurassic Park video.
Jurassic Park parody video. I said, great. I said, should we show the audience now? He goes, yeah, let's do it. So then I would just snip them together and we showed that video again.
Oh, how
Right?
fun. Yeah.
And people are laughing at like, geez, you guys, what was this? And so we love doing stuff like that, right? But I'll also add to James and your point about you look like what you look like. When we're talking to real estate agents, we tell them if a borrower called you right now or seller called you right now and said, I have a house for you to list and I want you to come do it right now. You're not going to wait to lose 5 pounds or I'm not getting my hair done until Tuesday.
Oh, I
Or
love
my
this.
My lashes don't get put
I'm
on.
stealing
until-
this. I love it.
right?
Yeah.
So go do it. You're gonna run out the door in your sweats and sweatshirt and do it. Like you're gonna do it.
Yeah. Are you all
So-
coaching your realtors or doing content for your realtors?
We do
when it-
tons.
It's a mix, yeah.
It's a mix. So you
Yep.
you coach them, you're teaching them based
Yep.
on your success,
Yeah.
but you also bring them in and help them like create maybe 10 or 15
Yeah.
reels.
We do. Yeah, you probably know Jeff Zempler really well.
Oh, I know Jeff. Yes.
Jeff's one of my good friends.
Oh,
our
shout
good
out to
friends.
Jeff.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so Jeff's class teaches us lots of those things. So we do a lot of Jeff's classes, teach one of those every month. But we also do everything Jeff teaches us, but we also teach just all social media classes.
Yeah, which by the way, if you want done for you lunch and learns, like
Oh.
that's Jeff Zempfer. It's my agent class. By the way, he's a friend of the show. I love his product.
Yeah.
So for any LO tuning in that wants to do lunch and learns but wants it done for them,
It's incredible.
it's an investment into your business, but there's going to come with pretty substantial ROI.
Yeah.
So you're taking what you know with social, but you're combining it into what Jeff teaches in terms of using education as a way to market your
Correct.
your service, and then putting the two together.
Absolutely.
If you're a licensed originator who's closing loans, but you're not consistent, this is for you. If you're brand new or just looking for motivation, trust me, this is not for you. Most LOs don't need more information. They need structure. They need proven processes and somebody to hold them accountable. T-Lob's Originator Coaching gives you weekly live coaching, scripts top producers actually use, and step-by-step business systems you can implement immediately. Not someday, we're talking day one. You're not watching videos alone. You're executing in real time with other originators who take this seriously. Right now, you can try it free for 2 weeks. That's 2 full weeks for free. You'll sit in on live coaching calls. You'll get access to the frameworks and see exactly how top producers run their business. If it creates clarity, if it creates momentum, or even if it puts wins on the board, you keep going. If it doesn't, no worries, you can cancel. No pressure at all. Click the link, start the 2-week trial, and finally, build this like a business, not a side hustle.
What's next for you guys? I mean, we talked about the 80 million, talked about, getting the branch volume up, maybe the regional volume up, but is there anything that y'all want to do as it pertains to the content or additional marketing efforts that's going to help you get there?
Yeah, we're putting a lot of effort right now into the webinar space because that's not really
Yes,
where
I
we've
love you
tapped
for saying
into.
this.
Yep. So we're doing some live webinars, but we're also doing pre-recorded webinars that look live, and it's actually kind of mind-blowing. It'll make people question any webinar they ever watch on whether or not they're watching a live webinar or a pre-recorded webinar.
I feel like I am probably annoying people the amount of time I spend talking about virtual workshops.
Right.
right? I hate the word webinar, so I was like, I'm
Yeah.
going virtual workshop.
Yeah.
But all the way to where like you all met my business partner, Mike. I call him Mikey Rocky.
Yep.
He's actually been on the show, and he's right now behind the camera helping produce this yurt edition at Mortgage Con. But I mean, his background is an entrepreneur. Like this guy has a vodka company. He has a electric golf cart, like the Badass Electric Golf Carts company. He has like a supply company, his marketing agency. So he's a serial entrepreneur.
He's just a good-looking guy.
Well, he's a good-looking guy, yes, but he's an entrepreneur and serial entrepreneur who knows a thing or two about web dev and website building. And I've told Mike, loan officers want done for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I managed 9 branches for well over a decade and a half, had over 100 loan originators. I can promise you,
Yeah.
I grew from nothing to something, all because we factored in and figured out the done for you.
Absolutely.
So stay tuned. Like we're gonna start offering some kind of a service because I need to like almost put my money where my mouth is and offer something that would allow loan originators and mortgage brokers to be able to start doing more webinars, whether they're live or I love what you just said, James, the recorded.
Right.
Right. Do it once really good.
Correct.
Then
Yep.
put a little ad spin behind it, give it a landing page. Then when they click, they have an opportunity to click here for a free home buying consultation.
Right.
Yep.
Yep.
Right? Or watch the video. At the end of the video, it's like click here for a free home buying consultation. And if you call now, I'll give you a $500 closing cost credit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, what are we trying to do? Well, we're trying to find potential home buyers who need a pre-qual.
Yeah.
We just don't call them pre-quals because nobody wants that.
Right,
But a
right.
home buying consultation sounds sexy.
Yep.
So I'm excited for you guys that you're going that direction. And obviously, thanks for sharing it. I'm going to find a way to put a bow on today. I kind of started the episode leaning into James a little bit in his past 5 years, but I'm coming to Travis. Travis, if you were to start over in the mortgage industry, knowing everything that you know, right, 25 years, thousands of loans funded, right, hundreds of millions of dollars of volume, what is one thing that you 100% would do first? And then what's something that you would be like, I'm staying away from this? Like bad idea, bad marketing concept, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I think a lot of loan officers get burnout, and when they do get burnout, it's because they're not working with the right partners. And I've been there. I had some burnout at some time, and I fired some agents I didn't want to work with any longer.
Yeah.
Some big producers who I didn't want to work with any longer. And when we started going all in on social media, we were initially going after the consumer direct, thinking this is the way to do it. And then we can give those out to agents. Well, what we found out pretty quick is that we were just working with the wrong agents. Now we get to pick and choose which agents we work with because we're offering a thing of value to them as well. And I've never had so much enjoyment in the last 25 years as I've had these last 5 years. One working with James has been awesome.
Yeah.
But working for the company I work for, but just going after the business the way we are. But to answer your question, the one thing I would change that we're just now leaning into a little bit more is the alternative referral partners, the insurance agents, the trust attorneys, the financial planners. Those are things that I'm going heavy into in 2026 that I think will have a massive impact on our business. And so my message to loan officers who are just starting off, or even if you've been in the business as long as I have, try to pivot a little bit and go after that type of business because there's a ton of it there. They don't shop you. They're incredibly reliable clients. They're very good borrowers.
Yeah.
You have a 90% approval percentage probably on those, and they're going to refer you. So kind of pivot, and in addition to your referral partners that you currently have, go after that new business because loan officers aren't doing that.
Love that answer. Like, absolutely love it through and through. I was recently asked a question like that. I got to be featured on someone else's podcast, which is always fun because that's not normally what I get to do. But I'm always available if people are looking to have someone on as a guest. But it was Dino with Ethos Lending down in Southern California, right? I was on his podcast, The Way. And he asked me, he goes, "What would you do if you got dropped in a new city, in a new state, and you couldn't see your family until you produced $1 million in revenue with your mortgage business?" And my answer was nothing that I did all of those years I was originating, because I learned, man, if there's somewhere I missed the boat, I should have been going after small banks and credit unions to turn them into referral
Turn-downs.
sources.
Yeah.
Not even turn downs. Like a lot of those small banks and credit unions are only doing portfolio lending, or they're not doing FHA VA.
Yep.
Right, or they're not doing the. For me, I'm living in the state of Florida. They're not doing hometown home buyers, which is like our best DPA. Right, it's like I have an opportunity. I could go in there, as long as I'm presentable and I'm good at what I do, forge a relationship. Even if it was a marketing, relationship where they were earning 50 basis points.
Right.
I would love to pay 50 basis points to a bank or credit union that, is feeding me 3 closings a month, and I go out and find 4 or 5 of those relationships, like that would be phenomenal. Last question for you, James. What is one book that has really helped transform you as a business professional?
As a business professional,
Or as a dad, right? Or as
sure.
a man, yeah.
I'm a huge Atomic Habits fan.
Oh,
huge.
You've done your research on me.
I have not.
Okay.
No, I love that book. The first time I listened to it, I started 75 Hard. That's a whole nother conversation, right?
How many times have you done 75 Hard?
Well, I've only completed it once.
Hey,
I've
that's
made,
awesome.
I've made it
times.
quite a few
Yeah.
times, like a good portion of the way through.
Sorry to interrupt. I have a whole entire
please do.
episode dedicated to 75 Hard.
It's great.
You'll have to go to our YouTube channel, subscribe while you're there, but use the search feature on the channel for 75 Hard, because I probably did it 4 years ago.
Yeah.
It changed my life.
Well, it's awesome.
75 Hard changed my life.
I'd be curious, now we're going off on a little tangent here, but I'd be curious on your perspective of what I'm about to say about that program. What I loved about it is I started it because I wanted to get in better shape. And what I found while I was doing it was getting in better shape was a byproduct of just being mentally tough and
emotionally
sticking.
tough.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
Correct. And so no longer was my focus like on just being in shape. It was like, am I doing well in every facet of my life? And being in good shape was a byproduct of that.
Yeah, look, I lost 40 pounds. That's how I got into triathlons.
Right.
Where you and I share the Ironman, love of this sport. But 3 words: yes, you can. That's
Right.
what 75 Hard taught me.
Yep.
I can do anything I want if I care enough to dedicate.
Well, and I can't tell you how many times at 11:30 at night I had not finished my second workout for the day, and I'm heading out the door.
Yeah.
You know, me and my wife going out, even if it was just a walk.
Yeah,
we got to do it.
I woke up at 4:30 in the morning so I can get an exercise in before Santa Claus came, because it was Christmas morning, right?
Yep.
But Atomic Habits is a book I buy for every one of my elite or my boot camp coaching students.
Right.
And it's part of our curriculum. Like
Right.
I have a 16-week boot camp. It's a part of that curriculum, because that was the book that I read during 75 Hard that just like clicked. What about you, Travis? What's one book that stands out to you?
Well, I have a quick story about that.
Okay.
The one that kind of changed my the way I do business too is Super Bowl. I don't know what Super Bowl was.
Go Seahawks.
I'm a big Bronco fan. James is a Seahawk fan. I was at James's house, and
so was his family.
What was it like 2 weeks ago for you two, huh? You didn't talk?
If Bo Nix plays, Broncos are in the Super Bowl. I'll say that. But so Seahawks beat the Broncos, kicked the crap out of them. So we were having a party at James's house, a Super Bowl party. I lived like a block away. I left at halftime. I'm gonna go home, and I jumped in a bath, a bubble bath, I might add.
Yeah, good for you.
And I have a book that was sitting there that I hadn't read for probably I ordered it 2 weeks or 2 months before. It was Jeff Zimpler's book. Forgot which one it was, but his first book he wrote.
Oh, the Little Red Book of Sales?
The Red Book of Sales.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it was one. And so I read that thing front to end while I was in there. I was just so pissed at the Broncos.
Yeah.
But went home that next Monday, implemented all the things that he was talking about, and that was my first introduction to Jeff, right?
Yeah.
And so then we became friends after that, and I told him the story, and but that book changed my perspective on the business itself, right?
Okay.
And so then I read other books from then. But again, I've listened and read Atomic Habits a couple times, and it is life changing as well.
All right. So if people need to, I'm telling you, you need to. If they want to, listen to me, and they want to follow you all. Is it Mortgage Dads? What's the best way to get in contact with you? Maybe they have a question. Maybe they want to learn more about Synergy. Maybe they just want to figure out what you're doing on social and how they can do it. How do you invite people to come and follow you online?
You can just search Mortgage Dads, the Mortgage Dads on Instagram, or James.and.Travis. You're going to find us both of those ways.
James.and.Travis.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Or just search Mortgage Dads on Instagram.
Yep. You'll find us on there. And we welcome people to DM us and call us. Like we talk to people all the time about just what they're doing, and I'm not trying to recruit them or anything. I'll just help you get started on social media. Like we have no problem jumping on Zoom and chat with people. We do it all the time.
Perfect. Any parting words, James, before we go ahead and put a bow on today's episode?
I don't think I have anything epic to add. It's been I think I'll just say this has been an awesome industry to get into, and for those people who are like maybe considering this industry, they should absolutely do it. It's a great business.
I concur. I'm going to spend the next 8 years of my career shaping the future of the mortgage industry. An industry that's given me more than I ever thought it should or could. And something that I want to invite more people to come experience what we've been able to experience and really grab that torch and run with it, right? That is what I'm doing at T-Lop's Originator Coaching. And honestly, it's what I'm doing on our YouTube channel. So for those that are tuning in, maybe for the first time because you're friends of Travis's or friends of James, go to our YouTube channel. It's the Loan Officer Podcast. We call ourselves T-Lop. T-Lop's the brand. If you're smart enough to put it together, TLOP, the Loan Officer Podcast. But it's what brings us the YouTube channel, the coaching, the consulting. We have career advisory services that we're launching. We're branch managers and LOs. I've been doing this for the past 3 years pro bono, and I'll still do it pro bono, but like under an unofficial title. Now I'm like, no, I'm inviting it. If you want a free consultation on your career, like give me a call. I will warn you 4 times out of 7, I'm going to convince you to stay where you're at because the grass is greenest where you water it. Yep. But I may give you some advice to navigate those conversations in a professional manner so that you can advocate for yourself. But go to the YouTube channel, subscribe. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple, I say thank you. Give us a 5-star review. That's how more people know this content exists. Every time you give it a review. And if you're not signed up for my newsletter, sign up for it. I write it myself. It comes out every Thursday. That newsletter can be found on our website, tloponline.com. That's TLOPonline.com. He's Travis. He's James. I'm Dustin Owen. That's all the time we have for you today. But we do look forward to catching you on the next episode. Peace.